There is a time to investigate. There is a time to gain clarity. There is even time to find reassurances as you're making investments. In the investment game, you want to have a level of clarity in terms of what you're investing in. You want to have a level of, I don't know if I want to say certainty, because there is a level of risk that comes with any investment. In fact, each person has to come up with their acceptable level of risk when it comes on to investments. But that time to gain clarity, that time to find certainty, that time to be reassured must have an expiration. It must have a end point. It must be in a time boxed interval so that you can not only give yourself space to second guess, give yourself space to assess and do your homework, do your due diligence. You can also know that that's coming to an end, and now it's time to make a definitive decision as to whether or not we're making the investment or we're not making the investment. As I coach people, I will oftentimes say to them, where your audio is concerned, you don't want to fool around. You want to get that audio thing right. You want to get that audio thing correct. And so one of the things that I often encourage people to do is put aside some funding, put aside some money that enables you to buy a mic, test the mic, send the mic back. This is very much in that same concept, that same idea of investing, where it is a time box interval. You have a specific amount of time to send back that mic. And so what I often also say, whether you're buying a mic or you're testing out a product and you have that free trial period, what I always say to folks is don't sign up, don't buy the mic, don't get the thing that you're going to test unless you already have time scheduled on your calendar to test the thing, because you don't want to get the thing, get that free trial of StreamYard or Ecamm, or buy that SM7B mic. This is actually the SM58, but get that mic to test it, but don't have time to test it. And then the time for testing expires, and now you are left to make a decision without having actually gone through the steps. Similarly with investing, it isn't built in. If you're going to invest in a particular stock, if you're going to invest in a company, if you're a venture capitalist, whatever, you're going through a funding round. I know that this may or may not follow or track with some of you, because you're saying, I thought this was the coaching corner. We're still talking about coaching. We're still talking about what we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. The idea and concept around investing, even as a principle, even as a discipline, even as an industry, can also be applied to ourselves. How long are we going to second guess ourselves? How long are we going to require reassurances? How long are we going to need to go back to the drawing board and redefine? When will we close off the research period and actually do the thing? Actually decide, today is the day I'm going to create the content. Today is the day I'm going to launch the channel. Today is the day I'm going to invite the guest, schedule it, and launch my podcast. Today is the day I am done checking. I'm done reassessing. I'm done gaining assurances. Today is the day I'm going to invest in me. How long will it take for you to do that? Though that's the piece. That is the piece I think is absolutely critical. That is an area of clarity that most people never ascend to. They never get there. They're constantly in the Well, I was thinking about doing this. And while they're thinking about doing this, another idea pops up and they're like, well, now I'm thinking about doing this. And there is never any forward progress. What we get stuck in is this cycle of assessment, this cycle of figuring out what it is I want to do. And I'm not saying that you just launch forward with no plan. I'm saying create a time interval for assessment, so that when that time interval is done, you are now going to make a decision. I'm moving forward like this, or I'm going to pivot and shift in a different direction. But that assessment period should be followed by an action period. Notice I said period as well, because it is critical to not just keep your action period open-ended either. You've got to go back to a time where you will now assess again. Has this worked? I was talking with a coaching client, and we were putting together their first 12 videos for their channel. And we're looking at these 12 videos, and I'm saying to this, in this case, it's a lady. I'm saying to her, these 12 videos, we need to allow them time to gain the algorithm's attention, for the algorithm to interrogate the video and push it towards the people that you intend to speak to as your target audience. If we start assessing after video 1, video 2, video 3, we'll go mad because the results will be discouraging. You want to assess after you've given it some time. And so the converse is also true. If you're just grinding, I was talking to another client. This is somebody who was just a one-off, not a regular client, but they've experienced wild success, but they don't know exactly where it's coming from. And so they booked the time with me, and we did a deep dive on their YouTube channel analytics. And I was asking them, how often are you in here? How often are you looking at the numbers? How often are you looking at watch time and when people are clicking away? And are you winning the click? Like, how often are you in here doing this kind of assessment work? Is it once a month? Is it every other month? Once a quarter? How often are you doing the checking? And they said to me, I thought it was very sad. They said to me, I generally never check. I'm so busy in the cycle and the grind of doing the work to produce the videos. I just haven't prioritized. And see, this both of them are not good. If you get stuck in the assessment phase and you never take action, that's not good. But if you get stuck in the action phase and never go back to assess, also not good. When you're investing in you, create an interval. Hey, listen, I'm going to do this thing, man. I'll give you my story as we get ready to round out this first section of our coaching corner today. I started creating content in a closet that's just on the other side of this wall here. I started creating content in a little closet there. I cleared some things out. I still had a lot of the storage stuff that we have in that storage closet underneath, but I created this flat space in front of me and to the side of me that I could work. I had the computers there, had my camera set up caddy corner, and I was able to create content in that space. Had my Logitech C920. And so what my wife and I said was, we'll start here because it was low investment. We didn't have to shift anything around in our home. We didn't have to go without and sacrifice anywhere. It was a storage closet. And all I did was rearrange it so that I could have a little bit of space in there so that I could create content, so I could take coaching calls. And that's what I did. And we did that for a specific interval. For about 6 months, we did that. And at the end of 6 months, we went back to assess, is this working? Is this something we should further invest in? Is this something that we could see ourselves doing long term? And the answer was an unequivocal yes. And so for the next 6 months, we began looking at different areas in the home that I could possibly utilize as a studio, a little bit larger studio, but a studio nonetheless. And so My initial thought was to take we have a little half garage area. So my initial thought was, let me take that area, wall it in, insulate it, and use that as my studio. Lovely space, about the size of a bedroom, no windows, had a small garage door. It's called a golf cart garage. It's not a car can't fit in there, but maybe a recreational vehicle could fit in there. And so I was thinking, okay, I'll take that space and I'll use that for my studio. And the thinking was within the family, no, we don't want you to be so far from us. It was COVID times, and so everybody was home. So the kids had their spaces defined upstairs here, second floor of our home. My wife had this room, which was her office, and she was like, I don't need much, right? For me to do my business, for me to do my calls, I don't need much. So let's reallocate this space, this room, for your studio. This was an additional investment. And so we did that, but we did it in a way that allowed for us to still do some things in this room. So it wasn't quite fully a studio, but it gave me some of the depth that I was looking for my camera shots. And we did that again for another 6 months. And at the end of those 6 months, we saw the potential of it and the way that it opened up things for the content, that we decided to clear out the room completely, paint the room, completely make it into a studio. And that's where we are today. But that came from a series of assessment, action, a series of seasons where we were assessing, a series of seasons where we were taking action. You can't assess what you've never acted on. Oh gosh, I need to just pause there. I hope that somebody's hearing what I'm saying. And again, I'm shooting this from a different portion of the studio today, but you cannot assess what you've never taken action on. You cannot assess what you've never taken action on, and I think that's absolutely critical. So, with that said, I want to dive into our coaching corner for today. Never be afraid. Never be afraid, even if the outcome is not positive. Never be afraid to assess what you're doing and how you're doing it, and especially when it allows you latitude and clarity on what your next steps might be. Come on. Let's dive in. Let's bow our heads for a quick word of prayer as we dive into our show for today. Father, thank you so much for keeping us throughout the week. It's another Wednesday, the middle of the middle for the Coaching Corner, and I'm super excited to dive into the questions that will come from everybody that is watching live today. Pray, God, that you would be in this space, that even those who are watching live with me now, that you would pour you'd cause what they're working on to have an extra special touch to it. I pray that those who watch this on replay, that they would also have an extra special touch to what they're working on as well. And I'm thankful for the opportunity that these people give me to be able to share with them, to pour into them. This is my prayer in your precious name. Amen. Okay. So family, listen, I am in a different part of the studio today, but I see several of you are chiming in. We've got 13, 14 or so people watching with us. Super excited about that. I want to say this for those who are catching this on replay, for those who are watching live, and maybe it's your first time. I see some familiar faces in the chat, but maybe it's your first time. This is the Coaching Corner. This is the middle of the middle of the middle. This is a time for us to be able to pull aside from the hustle and the grind of the week, of the content of your work, and just to be able to be poured into, just to be able to gain some insight and wisdom and perspective, get some of those questions answered that have you stuck, so that we can get you moving towards your goals. And that's what I hope this space to be. if you put a Q colon in front of your comment, that's how questions are done. And we literally live by your questions here. Your questions are our agenda. It isn't that we are shifting the conversation to take your questions. Your questions are what we are expecting. We're hoping that there's an environment here for us to be able to have your questions. I see 3 people have hit that like button already, and I want to say a word of thanks to each and every one of you that have hit it already. And let's actually dive into some comments and see what we have here. Let's go over here to my comment section. I totally forgot that this is what I had done with my comments. Gotta love the ability to edit on the fly, right? That's not the one. Let's just try this one. Is that gonna do it? And the overlay is not locked. Okay, there we go. All right, put that back up to the side there. That's what we're talking about. Okay, so that is not a comment from this week. That's a comment from the last time I did Coaching Corner on my laptop. Good morning, Kirk and the fam. Let's go. Darius O'Kane, thank you so much for being with us today. Tracy is with us. I always love when we have Tracy with us. It's always good to have you with us. So thank you, Tracy, for being here. Nice, relaxed setup there, Kirk. I like it. Oh, come on. I love that. I'm so glad that you like that. This is our set for Incubator's Couch, and I decided, we have a live show coming up, and I haven't actually used it. And I'm like, that's not safe. So the Coaching Corner is a space where we get to throw some things against the wall and see what works. So I'm excited to hear some of your feedback. If it's too dark, if it's too bright, if it's not in focus, let me know. I'm going to be testing out several things today. Jim Lawyer with us today. I want to say a word of greetings to you as well. OTN podcast is with us. Salute to you as well. Thank you so much for being with us today. Let it marinate, he said. Let it marinate. You cannot assess when you have not taken action. You cannot assess when you have not taken action. I remember when that comment came up, OTN podcast. So I was excited to be able to share a little bit there as well. Oh, wow. We've got N.A. Nea with us today. Always good to have you. Thank you so much for being with us today. Let me see if I can put that right where it needs to be. And let me see what else. I just love to see the back and forth. And Nene is actually saying amen. Amen, and amen. Quiff Institute is with us today. We've missed you, Florence. We've missed you. I want to make sure you know we have missed you. Peace, my peoples. Come on. Doc Bashara says, peace, my peoples. Doc, I believe you won a shirt. I believe you won a t-shirt. And for some reason, the message got held up by our spam filter. So my VA was telling me that she messaged you, and hopefully you got that message. The order has been placed, and we hope that it will be. It should be to you within the next few days. I'm not certain, but I think she did send some of that information through, and I hope that you got it. So let me know in the chat if you did get it, because I do want to make sure you got that thing. I see you in the Incubator's Couch setup. That's right. I'm over here in the Incubator's Couch setup. That's correct. And we have a show coming up this Monday, so wanted to be able to put everything through its paces. This is cool. Oh, so Doc Bashar says, I was going to ask the question about LinkedIn comments on EV Mux, but then I saw that you made a video on EV Mux on the EV Mux channel answering my question 2 years ago. Look at that. So what I can also tell you about that is that LinkedIn has habitually had problems with just integration and sending back and forth comments, because I still to this day sometimes have issues both with Ecamm and StreamYard and even EV Mux getting consistent comments back from LinkedIn. So thank you for that. And I'm so glad that the content that was created even 2 years ago is still helpful and useful even today. So we're excited about that. Come on. I love this comment from Florence. She says, I missed y'all. You were greatly missed, and we thank you for that. Come on. Alicia says, you cannot improve without proof. without proof. You cannot improve. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. You can't improve without proof. Like, who does that? Like, where does that come from? How do you yeah, no, you can't improve without proof. So that's good. That's good, Alicia. I resonate with that today. Thank you so much for that comment. Doc Bashara killing the messages with his streams, helping us be healthier and understanding how our bodies function. I love that. I love when we can commiserate, when we can give people feedback on their channel. Man, I need some water. Sorry. Yeah, it's all impromptu today, so apologies for that. All right. But yes. Love to see when we can support one another. Doc Bashar is doing some phenomenal work on his channel. So definitely would love for others to be able to check it out. And I see that Florence is sharing that with her as well. Whoa. We got a blast from the past here. I have not seen Deandra Blake in here in a long time. How are you? Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out for even just a second. Thank you for saying what's up. Deandra is somebody who's been following the channel for a really long time. Somebody I've had the privilege of doing a couple of sessions with. Some phenomenal content that she's doing as well. So I'm super excited to see you in the chat. And it's just such a great reminder for me to go back and check out what you're doing, because I think I want to definitely see what you got going on. All right. Tracy's saying hi to Deandra. I love that. Definitely Dr. Bashar and Dr. Oteng should team up, and Dr. Wood. Dr. Wood is another one. Dr. Wood with an E. Whoa, is that Miss Jill? Miss Jill? That's my sister. What's going on, sis? Thank you so much for being with us today. She said Alicia gets it. Yes, she does. I love that. Always good to have you guys come through and hang out with us today. And I always love to see the interaction in the chat as well. Doc Ladson is on the live my time. I love that. Thank you so much for being with us today as well. You are helping folks understand, Anthony. I love it. I love it. It's a great day to be in the room with the Kirk and fam. Come on. I love it. I love this live coaching model, Kirk. Keep it up. Hey, this is what it's all about, and definitely excited to be able to share a couple of things with everybody today. So with that said, man, listen, we are rolling today. Where am I at with my scenes here? We are rolling today. I'm trying my best to look at the camera over here, but I'm actually going to make some changes. So what we've done, I want to walk through this with you guys, because this is what it's all about, right? We want to learn some of these things together. So I have my keyboard and my mouse right here next to me. Right. I know you can't see it exactly, but I have my keyboard and my mouse next to me. I have my laptop here. I can see the laptop's just off to the side of the camera. Camera is the ZV-E10 with a 16mm lens on it. So that's what we're using today. So in my screen in front of me, it does look a little dark. So let me know in the comments section if it indeed is dark, because if it is dark, I'd like to brighten it up a little bit. Let me see here. And I see your comments as well. So we're going to play around with some things today. If you guys don't have questions, if you have questions, by all means, put them in the chat and we'll make sure we go through and get those questions situated. Ooh, I reset that. Let's reset that. Let's make it a little bit brighter. Now I feel like I'm out of focus, but we'll get there. So what I want to do next is I'm going to switch to another camera. Yes, she says you can brighten it up a bit. So I have 3 cameras today. three cameras today, and I'm going to adjust them first before trying to. Oh wow, that's really fast. Let's see if we can't get that a little bit slower. I have three cameras, and I'm going to try and get them to work with me. Why is that so crooked? All right, one sec. Okay, so we got three cameras, and of course, like I said, one of them is the ZVE10, which is the one that you're looking at right now, ZVE10. Let me see if I can. But I do have two OBSBot Tinies, right? They're two tiny twos. So I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit, and then we're going to take that camera. So that is the OBSBot Tiny. That's the OBSBot Tiny, and I think that looks good. It's kind of I think the camera's a little high, so definitely a cool look. But let's see, we can give that some more light as well. There we go. So that's what that one looks like. And listen, I haven't gotten up yet. And this is the beauty of having two multiple cameras. Multiple cameras. This is the OBSBot. There's another OBSBot Tiny. And now we're doing the most now. Let's not do that. I don't know what I just did. Let's go back to recall. All right. There we go. So now you're seeing my desk and all the mess that is there. And we're just turning it around, pushing the boundaries. Yes. So now this one is a little more straight on. Give myself a little more headroom. I feel like it is also a little bit crooked. So now you have two different shots, but they're really not that different from one another. So maybe you might want to, which one am I on? I'm on this one. Might want to just do some things to that as well. So let's see. Let's make one. Okay, so this one, I kind of like that one. Let me see what this one looks like. Oh, that one's good too. But I don't want as much of the table in there. Anyway, let's see if we can, I don't know. This thing is just way too sensitive. So here's the other thing that can be done is that we can zoom it in. We can zoom it in, and the more we zoom, the quality goes down. But these are, oof, wow, that is way too fast. Let me turn this down a little bit. But these are the OBSBot Tiny twos. Two of them that I've set up for just to be able to do content from this other side of the room. But I do have the ZVE10 as well. Color science is different, but I needed to have something that was a little more stationary so that I can move some things around. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. It's always fun to kind of try some things out. I like that close-up look on the couch. Yeah, so I'm going to have to make some adjustments to make that work a little bit better so that it does make a little more sense. I'm wondering how I can do that. Yeah, let me see something real quick. Let me see here. Like that close-up, she says. Neat. Pushing the boundaries. Love that. Nice setup. Kirk giving me ideas. Hey, man, if I can give some ideas, that's what it's all about. And you are absolutely correct. I need to brighten this thing up a little bit. So let's try a couple of things. Oh, almost set on the mic. That wasn't the plan. Man, after all of that setup. Okay. Okay. Definitely brighter now. And let's see if we can't make yeah, we'll give it some more. A little more of that. All right, so let's go back to our full screen. Yeah, that seems like it's too bright now. Let's hit reset there. There. A little more gamma. Oh boy. All right, well, you guys will let me know. Let me see what we got here in the chat. I am loving the studio testing BTS. I am connecting the ObsBot Tiny controls to my Stream Deck. Yeah. I'm actually playing around with a number of those different functions and features as well, man. And there's just so many opportunities for growth there. Okay, so now I did make some changes to the other. So, okay, this is going to be interesting, y'all. So I'm going to hold my hand up. I think I turned those settings off. So let's get to this one, and let's see if we can pull that. Oh, no. There we go. It's a little more eye level with me. That hopefully, yeah, that's a nice shot right there. I think just a little, bring it down a little more, maybe even zoom in some. Oh, that zoom is a little bit too hot. So yeah, there's yet another view. And man, you know, the way my eyes are set up, I can't really see. I'm not really seeing as well as I'd like to. So let's go here. Boom. Yeah. So the brightness, I am having to push that brightness up a little bit more on that guy. We'll see. But anyway, these are some of the things. You need an M3 Live Tribe mug on that floating shelf. I know. I need something for that. Thank you so much, Florence, always coming through and making sure we stay on brand. So, but yes, you are correct. I need something. Gray socks to match the gray slacks. I'm literally, you guys are just in the home with me today. Like I'm not even at I set up the live for me last night, but about an hour ago, I was like, haven't tried out the incubator's couch setup, and we have a whole live show to do. So I'm like, okay, let's do that real quick. Let's do that real quick. So that's been really good as well. All right, so this one is still what I feel like it's a little crooked or something. I don't know. And then it's doing some breathing. Interesting stuff. Let's go into here. Let's see. Oh man, that's not the right one. All right, so let's do that, and then let's come back over to this one. I don't know. I do want to get some of the pictures, but man, why is it crooked? That's, how you see that line at the top? That is bothering me. That is bothering me. And is there no way to, I don't think these turn like that. That's a weird one. All right, let's see what we got. Very coordinated, Kirk. These socks are literally, there was no rhyme or reason to that today. There was no rhyme or reason for that today. So this one is a lot more level. It gives you that corner look and vibe and feel. Probably going to put something in that corner so that it isn't so bare. But I have myself here, the guest here. Kanique will be there, or we'll flip it around. It doesn't matter because there's stream decks over there. So sometimes I'll sit there, but that's kind of the setup for the show. I feel like this mic could go back a little bit. Look at that. You see, we're just adjusting everything right now. But these are the things that I like to do. She said they're clean socks, so that's the only thing that matters. And you are absolutely correct. Clean is all that matters. It's all that matters. But yeah, no, I think the other thing that I wanted, why I'm happy to, or glad that we're able to kind of showcase this today. Why are those moving like that? That's weird too. And is that yeah, I guess that is live. That's as live as it gets. But you see that, right? It's like it's not sure what to focus on. That's a little odd. Again, we'll get to play around with it a little more. I did get a new camera in, but I was not able to get some things set up for me to be able to test that camera the way that I want to. So I've decided to test that again later. We'll test that again later. Now I do want to show you what it looks like. So hold on a second. Yeah, because, one of the other cameras that I can select from Ecamm is the phone. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and lock the phone real quick. And we'll click it here. And there you have it. So that's what's in front of me, right? The camera off to the side there. I know it's hard to see because it's not quite, I'm far away from them. I've got a big monitor and my laptop. And then on this little T-bar here, I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to hold it out a little bit closer, but on that little T-bar, so I've got one tripod and I've got this T-bar on it, and I've got the two Tinies, right? The Osbot Tinies on that. So that's been super helpful as well, to just be able to set some things up the way that I'd like it. So there you go. You get a chance behind the scenes of the behind the scenes, right? It's crazy. It is crazy. Remove from switcher. Okay. All right. That gave me my phone back, which is good. And I think the other thing that I will do is to pull this up on the phone because, we're tweaking today. Anybody have any questions for me as we are going through a couple of things today? Any questions? Well, it looks good. Oh, wow. This shot actually looks better, way better than it looks on my screen. Way, way better. Wow. Man, that's good. Let me see what we got here. We got 12 people on the live. We got 6 people who hit the like button. I want to say a word of thanks to each and every one of you. And then just wanted to see if you have any questions about content, about content creation, about the different platforms. I am going to be making some pivots fairly soon in what I do as well. So this is a different look. Let's see what this looks like when it finally catches up on my phone. But I'm going to be making some pivots in my content as well. She said, I'm not sure what you did, but that look is on point. I don't know what I did. I just know that this particular camera is it crooked? No, that top line is actually straight. Well, look at that. I think this one is definitely crooked. So don't know which one this is. That's the one. So let's go here. All right. So there's a shot there and shot there and shot there and shot there. Okay, cool. So, still crooked. Maybe the camera itself is crooked. I'm not sure, but you can see just even with the floating shells behind me, it isn't quite right. But to have a 3-camera shoot, and this is the other thing that I wanted to kind of touch on today. This is one of the things that I am doing a proof of concept on is, can I do a 3-camera shoot with a minimal setup? Right? A 3-camera shoot with a minimal setup. What does that look like? Well, it looks like one real camera, right? And that would be your wide shot. That would be this shot. And then 2 of these tinies, which would give you, individual close-up shots. And so that's what I'm able to do, because I now listen with 2 webcams and a DSLR. Now I've got a 3-camera shoot. That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, if I could just get them to be balanced, I don't know what's going on with the balance on these things, but if I could get them to be balanced, that would be so dope. So that's the concept that I am toying with. I've got a client who's like, I need to be able to do a 3-camera shoot. I cannot bring a truckload of equipment. You seem to be the guy who keeps on figuring out how to do these things. And so help me. And so I was like, very happy to do that. Very happy to be able to help and provide some assistance. And so I've been toying with some different configs. Isn't it dope when somebody gives you money just to play and come up with solutions? I think this is the thing that has kind of helped me to recognize that there is a particular lane that I exist in. And it has taken me some time to really realize that that's my space. That's where my superpower is. And it comes down to unconventional solutions for media. Unconventional solutions, systems, processes for media. Man, I need to write this down. Unconventional solutions for media. Yeah. Okay, no, seriously. I am going to write it down because that's just too good. Unconventional. Hey, Michael Fleming, thank you so much for being here today. Says good afternoon and greetings from Dallas, Texas. Always good. Always good to have you. 15 of you guys on the live today. Always good to have you. Unconventional. Let me go to my notes. And get this captured. Yeah. Unconventional. Solutions. You got to stop and just. You got to stop and just grab your notes, yo. Unconventional solutions, processes, and systems for media. Ooh, maybe for me, not just for media, but for content. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Unconventional video production techniques for the seasoned consultant, pastor, or executive. Learn how to produce consistent content on a tight schedule with no prior video experience. Turn your knowledge into impact. Turn your knowledge into income through the power of video with light or no editing required. This is how it all works. Come on, talk to me. What do you think about that? See, we're spitballing today. One of the things I also am known for, and again, I'm just talking because you guys aren't saying anything, but one of the things I am absolutely known for is coming up with ideas, coming up with slogans, coming up like. I'm an idea guy. I live for ideas. But I said this to somebody recently, and I said when I was using StreamYard heavily, when I first got into solo live streaming, I was using StreamYard heavily, and I would I had the founders, right? The founders of StreamYard came on my live stream, and they were watching what I was doing. They're watching the flow of the show. And when it came to Q&A time, they said to me, what streaming platform are you using? And I said, I'm using StreamYard. I knew the person in the comment. I knew who it was because I go to the StreamYard town hall every week at that point. And I was like, I'm using StreamYard. What do you mean? And I was confused by the question. But it later dawned on me that I was using it in a way. And of course, they came back and commented, but I was using it in a way that they had not seen or they had not envisioned. And so the guy was like, I didn't know that you could do that with StreamYard. And it wasn't that I was using ATEM or was using a virtual camera from Ecamm. It wasn't that I was doing any of those things. I was simply doing kind of leveraging, hacking my way to getting the result that I wanted, even though some of those functions and features didn't exist. And sometimes you've got to recognize the thing that comes naturally to you is your superpower. The thing that comes naturally to you is your secret sauce. The thing that comes naturally to you is the area of your expertise where you're operating in genius. Like I like to say that like this in coaching. And I'll be honest, I'm giving you guys way too much today. I might have to take this video down because then people will be like, I'm not even going to go to this coaching sessions. But I say this in coaching all the time. If you find yourself saying, if somebody's praising you for doing a particular thing and your response is, oh, all you have to do is, you're operating in genius, because to you, it's all you have to do. But to them, how in the world did they do that? To them, do you know how many hours it would take me to do that? To them, this does not come natural. To them, you follow what I'm saying? And figuring out how you can operate in genius is where this is the work of a lifetime. And so what does that mean? That means I've been on YouTube for a number of years. I have 10,500 subscribers, and I'm still tweaking. I'm still doing activity assessment and more activity. I'm still fine tuning. I'm still having those aha light bulb eureka moments. I'm still discovering. And you should too. Okay, let me get a couple of comments here. And it looks like I'm out of time for today because I've totally forgot that I have a hard stop coming up. I got another meeting I got to jump to. So let's see if we can find a couple of comments that you guys are putting on into this to the stratosphere today. Never depend on memory. You gotta write it down. Yep, go back and write it down. Thumbs up, everybody. Come on, come on, come on. We got 10 likes. We got 18 people on the live with us today. Super excited that all of you are here. Dr. Tashi says hello, all. Thank you so much for being with us. I love to see the interaction in the chat as well. Love to see you guys going back and forth. That Darius says, love where you are going with that. It's all about the integration. Come on, Darius. Okay, you've got this. You've got this. Alicia is vibing with us today. Want to let you know I have a degree in history and paid a lot of attention to historical Black leaders. Come on, I like that too. Tora is with us. Tora is with us. You rang. I walked in just in time and heard my name. Unconventional. I'm here. Listen, you got to know where your secret sauce lies. Okay, Tora says that unconventional is my jam. And I love that. I love that. Okay, let me see what else we got here. Dr. Vibe Show is here and he says, greetings, family. You good? Hey, we good, fam. And we're excited that you're with us today. Always good to have you. Always good to have you. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love to just see the back and forth. All right. The StreamYard folks did not have the vision that Kirk Nugent had. It's, at the end of the day, I will say this plainly about a lot of these streaming platform creators. They're not actually streamers. They were looking to solve a problem. They saw a gap in the marketplace and they took action because their secret sauce is creating the application. That's to them where they operate in genius. They're not operating in genius when they're doing a live stream. They're operating in genius when they sit down to write the code to create a StreamYard. And this is so critical. Like, the people who will utilize the thing that you create will probably gain a level of mastery that you will never attain at the thing you gave them to use. Because it's your job, your genius, to create the thing. It's their genius to use it. And I think that there's this nice push-pull, this balancing act that happens between those that will be served by the genius that you so easily display and exhibit, and then those who will actually exhibit the thing. Okay, I don't want to get too hung up. I've got a time crunch today. Here we go. I love seeing the comments back and forth. Ooh, you made me, oh my, look at that. You made me cry. Oh my word. I love this. Love them going back and forth here. Kirk is dropping knowledge bombs again. Thank you so much, sir. That was a surreal moment, for real. Oh my word. Kirk, I am finally making some forward progress with EV Mux. Okay, dope. Had a whole session with somebody on EV Mux just this past week. Dr. Otang, man, we were calling your name earlier, sir. So we thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. You're a valued member of the community. We were just talking about your content, Dr. Bashar's content, Dr. Wood's content, and just listen, you guys are doing great work, and you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it. You and your bride killing the knowledge for us. I love it. See, that's what I was talking about. Voice on the move. This is my people from South Africa. Says, hey fam, Sibo Siso from South Africa. See, even before I read the comment, I knew just when I saw the title, the name of the commenter. Oh, Boss It Live is with us. Thank you so much for being here. Always good to have you in the comment section. She says, good to catch you live. Thank you so much. Hey, 10 likes, 17 of you guys on the live today. I want to say a word of thanks to everybody that hit that like button. That is excellent insight, Kirk. We need to operate within our genius. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Hey, ladies. She says, hey, ladies. Oh, man. That's a great Creator Camp activity. Ecam users versus the twins. Oh, no. I've done a whole session on that. So that's why I said I don't want to call any particular name out, but I have talked with the twins about how I use Ecamm, and they were like, this is outside of realm because they're absolute geniuses. Like, we just need to be clear on that. They're geniuses when it comes on to what they do. And I don't think it's any shade whatsoever to say that that's them. They would not be regular content creators because it's just not That's not their area of genius. Does that make sense? I hope that that's not shade. I don't mean it to be shade, but I just feel like that their genius is in other areas. And why compete? Oh gosh, why would you take the test that was designed for a bird when you're a fish? Like, I want to operate in my space of expertise and genius. Doesn't mean that the fish is better than the bird or the bird is better than the fish. It's just, we were just gifted in two totally different ways. And that's the space that I think we should all strive to exist in. Where is my area of expertise and how can I exist in that space? All right, let me see what we got here. A couple other comments. Hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there. Love to see it. Please remember to hit that like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to click on the notification bell. Thank you so much, Michael Flemings. Truly appreciate you. Oh, I see a question. This has been great today. This is rocket fuel level inspiration. Darius O'Kane says, come on, let's go. I need to bottle up that comment and just take it with me wherever I go. All right, Ken and Glenn. Yes. But they do pay attention to their client and adjust and evolve to meet client needs. That's the genius. That's the genius. That's the ebb and flow. And hear what Equip Institute is saying. I'm coming to your comment, Sibu Siso, but hear what Florence is saying from the lens of the content creator. I'm putting out videos that someone else is going to use to fix a problem or meet a need or learn a discipline or figure out how to do something in a particular platform. I need to now listen to their feedback so that I can tweak how I'm making videos, what I'm making videos on, so that I can continue to speak very clearly to the issues that they face. This is what Ken and Glenn do. This is what Dan and Gage did when they were back at StreamYard. They would listen to the feedback and they would make adjustments. They weren't themselves streaming every now and again. They do their town halls and things like that, but they would listen to the feedback and then make the adjustments, so that we as consumers end up with a better product. And I think if you think about that from the perspective of a content creator, from the perspective of a YouTuber, you would also see where we have opportunities to do the very same thing. Okay. All right. I love this. F3 Live Drive Rocket Fuel. I love it. Okay. Here's a question from Sibu Siso. So Sibu Siso, do you go by Sibu or do you go by Busi? I've known a couple other Sibu Sisos in my time living in South Africa, and so I know that they sometimes go by either of those two. And so I'm just interested. I'm just curious as to whether or not either of those are nicknames for you. And if neither are, that's okay as well. So, but this is the question. He says, how to deal with clients who always want discounts on the services you provide. Oh man, those are not your clients. This is such an incubator's couch question, and it's so appropriate that I'm here on the couch, right? But that the easy answer to your question, Sibu, is those aren't your clients. Those clients. Oh, yeah, there you go. He says Sibu. Those clients. Those people aren't anyone's client. Those people need a how-to tutorial so that they can do it themselves, because they don't recognize the value of somebody providing that as a service to them. If they don't recognize where that fits in their overall system, processes, infrastructure, then they will constantly be looking for a discount, because for them it's all cost. There's no benefit. There's a mindset shift that must take place. They're not looking at everything that they're doing. So as a content creator, I know that a huge part of what I have to do on a regular basis is not only script the video, record the video, edit the video. How can I get rid of one of these components? I'm going to get rid of the video editing part. Now, for some people, that's sacrilege. They love the video editing. I don't. And so, but I also recognize that the whole point of this cycle is to put content out there. I feel like this has dropped a little bit. The whole point of this cycle is to put content out there. And so if the whole point of the cycle is to put content out there, then what I need to do is prioritize getting the cycle done. Now, what does that mean for me? What that means for me is that I have more content. My content is consistent. More people can be assisted and helped, and I get more leads. I get more people signing up for my mailing list, more people signing up for coaching, more people doing discovery calls, more people that I can produce shows for. On the back end, my why is this part. Now I can appropriately appreciate my video editor and what I pay him because I know where I'm going. That client, quite literally, I wouldn't argue with them. I would not engage them any further when they ask for the discount. I would simply say to them, I'm not for you. Or sometimes I do a little bit of education by saying something to the effect of, I'm sorry that my prices are so far higher than the other people you have gotten this service from. But that's what I charge. And see, just by saying that little line, I'm helping them recognize the onus is on them to go and find someone who's going to give them that service at the cost that they have said they'd like to pay. Quite literally, in one particular situation, I've shared this story on the Incubator's Couch. In one particular situation, a client said something to the effect of, "Oh wow, man, your prices are kind of high. They're kind of expensive." And when they said that to me, I was like, "Oh man, is that right? Maybe I need to raise them." My response to them was, maybe I need to make them a little higher. I didn't realize I was so far outside of the range of everybody else. Maybe I should make them higher because I know nobody's doing what I'm doing. I know that for a fact. And I think this is the tension that many of us sit between as service providers, as entrepreneurs. Is what I'm charging worth it? Because I know for a fact what I'm charging is less than what it's worth. I know that I have it where people can get to it. And the reason why I can say that unequivocally is because I know what others are charging. That's number one. Number two, I know the transformation that people who work with me are having. So when I'm clear on those pieces, I'm not second guessing in a client interaction. I'm not going to be, I wouldn't even accept that as a, man, is there any way you could give me a discount? No. You never go to Publix or to your local grocery store and ask them if they could give you a discount on bread. You pay what they have listed it's there for, or you walk out and go to somewhere else. Kroger, Aldi. I don't know what you got, Food Lion. I don't know what you got, but you go somewhere else and you pay for what they say. You don't haggle. I don't know where we get this from in the business space that, man, I need to, is there any discount? No, there's no discount. I don't even respond to those. I find it so utterly disrespectful. And in fact, I have canceled client engagements just from the word discount. Is there any discount I can have? Ma'am, we don't do discounts. And I think we need to go ahead and close this client interaction. No. I'm okay with the price. You clearly are not okay with the price. And I don't want to get to the end of this engagement and all you have to say is, man, they gouged me on that. I don't want to work with you. Your mindset is one of scarcity and poverty, and you don't understand where this fits in your whole process. So maybe you're not even ready to purchase this service. I think we if we flip it, we can have impactful interaction with the people that we're working with. Okay. Let me grab a couple more comments and then we get out of here. Comments here. There we go. Yes, he says, Subu, absolutely, absolutely. Your services are your services and your value is your value. Believe it and live it. Words to live by. Amazing take on how to deal with clients who always want discounts on the services they provide. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Sad to say, they are usually selfish people looking out for themselves and not valuing your service. I don't want to work with those people. I want to be clear, y'all. Like, I don't even want to work with those people anymore. I don't even want them in my sphere. I don't want to work with those people. So if that's where they are, I rather close the engagement right then and there than to try and go any further. Okay. Love to see the comments in here. I just noticed that I reached 328 subscribers. My plan is to reach more subscribers by the word of God. Thank you so much, Micah, for always coming through and hanging out with us. I don't ask people for discounts. Their price is their price. No one asks for discounts from Louis Vuitton because they value the product. And see, that's the challenge. I really wish, and this is why the Incubator's Couch is something that my wife and I are so passionate about, is because we hope that by having Incubator's Couch, consumers and customers and clients will see a theme that as we interview entrepreneurs on this couch and in this set, as we talk to business owners and entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, as we talk to these folks who are providing services and selling products, when they hear the frustration, that we will, as a byproduct of the show, educate clients. Like, you can't ask for a discount. When somebody shared with you their price, if there was a discount to be had, they would have given it to you. What? No, fam. Rather say, I really love what you're doing. I am unable to engage you at this current moment, but in the future, as funding becomes available, I will look to come back. And I want to thank you so much for your time and putting together that quote and engaging with me in this discovery process. I really value what you're doing. You say it like that, you may even get a discount. I know business owners who only give discounts to people who engage them from that perspective. But if you just come out the outset like, man, good Lord, that's a lot of money. Can I get a discount? No, I don't even want to work with you. So well said, JJS Tech. Brian Jones is on the live. What's going on, sir? Loved your video, by the way, that you posted in the Workers Warehouse. You shared with us a video and I loved it. I think it's a great video. I love the chill vibe of it as well. Sitting in the car. I think that's absolutely awesome. I think you found something, bro. And I hope that you're not going to sit on that video too long. I hope that you're going to release that thing. So I just wanted to say that, because I did see that. And Tracy, I hope that you got a chance to see the video because it's in the Workers Warehouse. So hopefully you got a chance to say that. I would cancel those too. I'd quote the right price. They take it or leave it. No haggling. This is not a night market in Thailand. You don't haggle. It's ridiculous. Scarcity mindset cannot be worked with. Yep. Oh man, this is gold. I'll never have a price problem again. Guaranteed, sir. Guaranteed. You state your price. A negotiator told me once. After the price is stated, the person that speaks first lost the negotiation. State your price and shut up. So for this particular package, we charge $5,500. The only thing that you can say after you say that price is something to negate the price or something to try and prop up the price to justify the price. And neither are good for negotiation, because what it signals to the person is, I don't necessarily believe that what I'm doing or what I'm offering is worth what I just said. So I'm going to kind of buck shuffle a little bit. Shut up, state your price and look them in the eye. And I don't care how long that silent pause is. I'm waiting for them to say something, even if they say, okay. I don't care what they say, but I'm not saying anything until they say something after I set my price. That's going to be $5,500. Yeah. and you win. Let me be clear. You win because for the person, and I want to say this as well, as someone who has sat in a discovery call for products or services that I intend to purchase, my side, when you hear that price, sometimes I'll wait to see if they're going to say anything. I'll be quiet because I know that anything I'm saying is essentially, okay, thank you for that. I'm going to have to talk it over and see what we can come up with, because it's essentially done now. Once the price has been stated, even as the consumer, the only thing you're going to be saying from there is either something to negate or to just accept what they've shared. So we want to move where that's concerned. Oh man, I love to see what we got here. I love it. Thank you for the advice. I really needed it, Kirk and family. Hey, Sibu, this is what we're here for, and I thank you for asking the question. Yeah, try and go into Fendi and ask for a discount and watch them usher you out. They won't even, my God. Anyway, price versus value is the issue. Agreed. Much appreciated. Next one is in the mental queue. I love that. We'll drop within 5 days. Come on. Gotta let it sit. Eden Lou is on the live. Eden is with us. Thank you so much, Eden, for coming and hanging out today. Always appreciate you. Yeah. You gotta let it sit. Okay, fam. Well, listen, this has been absolutely amazing. I'm trying to actually see. What is that? What is that down there? Is that the right one? I think that's the right one. All right. But I'm trying to see where I'm at here in terms of my comments and my time. I'm over my time, but I want to say a word of thanks to each and every one of you. I want to conclude right where we began, talking about investing in you. One of the major investments that we each need to make in ourselves is the investment in our belief system. Is the investment in our thought processes, in the investment in the mindsets that we hold, how we see ourselves. That last bit that I shared there in terms of value versus cost, the scarcity / poverty mindset. If we're not careful, we will allow it to dictate the value we place on ourselves. Like this isn't worth this price because I'm not worth this price. And that's a major hurdle for many people to get over, for many people to overcome. I was trying to find the right term for people to overcome. If you investing in yourself requires a base level or understanding that what I'm investing in is worth it. Oh God, I hope that you're hearing what I'm saying. Investing in you means you recognize you're worth it. And the fact that I'm going to leave you with this, the fact that many of us don't invest in ourselves. We don't go to conferences. We don't watch the podcast. We don't get into spaces where we can be coached. We bristle against anything that looks like tweaking or adjustment. The surface level reason for that is that you're comfortable. But if you dig a little bit deeper under that quote unquote comfort, that's a mask for the fact that I don't find myself to be a great investment. I don't find myself to be a great investment. That's why I haven't done the work to put myself out there. Haven't done the work to make what I know attainable or accessible by a larger audience in this one-to-many format that's called content creation. I don't believe in me. That's why I don't do some of the things that would enable me to serve at scale. That's a terrible place to be. And to be clear, I'm not saying that that's everybody's indictment today. And maybe you found reasons why you're not investing in you that doesn't have any base in the fact that you don't believe in yourself. But I challenge you I challenge you. Every week, do you know that the Coaching Corner is meant to be a space where I am live coaching someone else? And every week I have no one to coach live because, well, number one, many of them hit me up in the DMs and they want a private coaching session. They don't want to do it live. And that's a whole other thing for another time. But number two, people don't want to be told what's wrong. Because once they know what's wrong, they have to grapple with the fact that it's now time to move forward. That's my time for today, y'all. Listen, invest in you. You are your best investment. Investment of time, investment of energy, investment of effort. Don't take good enough as a standard. Strive for excellence in literally everything that you touch. And with that said, I'm going to close it out with a word of prayer. Let's bow our heads. God, just want to thank you for this time we've been able to spend. It's been amazing. I know the lighting wasn't quite right. I know that I was playing around with the different cameras. I know that some of that could be a little bit jarring. We were in a more of a testing phase today, but I pray that somebody received the message today that they are worth the investment. That they got to get into this rhythm of assessment and then testing / activity and then assess again so that they can tweak the other level of activity that they'll get into. I hope that's something that was shared. It was impactful, that it guides, it corrects, it allows people to have those discovery moments. And my prayer, my hope is that somebody does far more and far greater than I've ever done with the information that has been shared today. Blessings on everybody that's watching live and those who will watch on replay. We ask these things in your precious name. Amen. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention today. We will see you around these internet streets or in the next video. Remember, don't forget this. Going live changes lives, and the life that might change could be your own. Grace and peace, fam.